Good morning, YouTube. It's January 29th, 2022, and I'm long overdue on the update to my avocado trees. So I'll start with this past avocado tree that I planted in spring 2017 from a 24 gallon. It alternate bears, so this is the on year. So I counted and I stopped counting when I got to 250. It was getting hard to count, so kind of gave up. But if you look, it looks kind of sad this year. Hass are susceptible to persea mites, so it was getting attacked. I kind of saved the fruit because I released some predatory mites, so it's still recovering. But if you look here, you'll notice this branch doesn't look as bad as far as the persea mite damage, and the same for that one. So this branch here is a graft of a Hawaiian variety called Nishikawa. So I haven't tried the fruit yet, but there's the graft union. And the other branch above it, see the graft union, was a seedling fruit that I tried from Ryan Seedling. So he's in the Facebook avocado group. He grows a variety that his grandfather planted as a seed and then named it Seedling Hall. So let me zoom in on some of the fruit and show you. So okay, that's it for the Haas tree. Let's move on to my other trees. So this is the fastest growing tree that I've grown. It's a nabal. So maybe I'll link a photo to how this tree looked 2.5 years ago when it was planted. So it's not in flower yet, but hopefully soon. I got to clean up around it. This aloe vera is going to go away. If you notice, I have rocks out here, which are not good for avocado roots, but every year I slide the rocks back and just add more mulch. So let me give you a little shot of how big the stalk is, the trunk, I should say. So if I post a little photo, you'll notice the difference in how fast this thing grows. So it's probably about 9 feet high, and it's just starting to leaf out and get rid of its old leaves. So this one is not as susceptible to the persea mites. So this is the lamb house that was planted from a 5 gallon about 2 years ago, and I need to really reshape it. Finally this leader took off. There was another leader that just kind of folded over, and then this branch over here, I should have pruned it last year, but I didn't. And then this year I was gonna prune it, excuse me, but it was loaded with fruit. So lamb hoss, if you notice, this is a good tree because all the fruit is hidden in the canopy. So this tree has 50 to 60 avocados on it. I quit counting at 50, but if you notice, you can't see them all unless you get really close. So they're just all over the place, and I need to clean this tree up and prune it this year. So maybe I'll find a picture that I could link in the video to show you what this thing used to look like. Well, back to the holiday. It's kind of hard to record when all your neighbors stop and want to talk about the fruit. So it's about the 4th time it's happened this morning. So anyway, that's the holiday. Like I said, I may top work it one day And if you look here, there's a seedling coming up. I can't remember if I planted a seed next to it with the intention to do a side graft and have the double rootstock pushing one tree, because you know I knew about the holiday being a weak tree, so that was the plan. But it's so close to the stem that it may be coming from the rootstock. So anyway, I may cut it out or graft onto it and just do away with the holiday. This is my seedling that has about probably 5 or 6 varieties grafted onto it. So I'll start out with the first one to produce fruit. This reed here. I had 3 reeds and I pulled one in order to save this branch. It also had a kahaloo. It got about Haas size and it dropped. And after it dropped, the branch kind of died, so I didn't get to try that fruit yet. But this kahaloo branch is flowering. So it flowered profusely last year and I didn't get any fruit off of it. This is another reed here, and if you look, it's already turning woody here, even though it was grafted only a year ago. There's a Haas that's flowering. That's from a friend's seedling avocado called a Seedling. His grandfather planted the tree and the fruit was pretty good, so he was nice enough to share some sign wood with me. And this here is a bacon. So the bacon is flowering nicely all over. So we should get some fruit from this tree, and eventually I want it to be year-round. Let's take a look at the some of the graft unions on this multi-variety tree. So that's the Forte graft. See, healed over pretty well. That's the kahaloo graft union. That's the Seedling graft union. Right here is the reed graft union. And there's the bacon graft union. So, and the reed graft union, that was a much smaller scion. So, just wanted to give you a look at those. I don't want to make this video too long, so I think I'll mainly stick to my in-ground plants, but I'll show you a couple of the plants that I grafted in the past. So this is a bacon I grafted maybe a year and a half ago. So it's flowering like crazy for a small tree. And this is the gem avocado. So once again, you'll notice a high density planting, because about 8 to 10 feet away you'll see this reed avocado tree. It's holding about 10 fruit on it right now. So I'm hoping one day this thing really takes off, but I think my trees in the backyard don't quite get as much sun, so that's why I had to plant some in the front yard and on the side. But this is a Pinkerton that's in a pot, so I don't know if I'll ever put that in the ground. That's my first successful graft ever. It's a kahaloo. Grafted on the seedling, and it's growing very slowly. That's another graft that I did. It's a green gold that wants to kind of weep. And here's the Jan Boyce, one of those Home Depot purchased Jan Boyces, and it's flowering. So also have this little makeshift fence up for now, keep my Rottweiler from getting in and digging. There's one of those experimental grafts that I'm known for doing, where you take 2 seedlings and graft them into one. So that's just an experimental tree. Well, let's come over here to the bacon, which is flowering profusely all over. So bacon, what I notice is for me, it flowers like crazy, but I seem to only get 7 or 8 bacons, but they're pretty nice size, usually like 16 ounces. So I only got like 8 this year, and I have like 4 left, and I think I only got 8 last year, so I was expecting double. So another tree that I kind of experimented with, and I have it in this 20-gallon pot, is the Brazilian seedling that I kind of did an approach graft on with this bacon branch. I don't know if you've seen the other video, maybe I'll link it in the description, where I did an approach to the bacon, and then on the leader branch I grafted on the queen, and the queen really took off. So the bacon is flowering. The queen I've had to cut back. It's not even a year-old graft, and I had to cut it back like 3 times now. So maybe that's why the bacon is doing so well. But anyway, so that's the queen bacon graft. So this was one of those experiments where I took 2 seedlings, grew them out. I grafted 2 seedlings together, the bottom here, and then at the top I took a piece of lamb hoss scion wood from my lamb hoss tree that you saw earlier, and I grafted that. That's been less than a year, and look how it's really taken off. So I would say that having 2 rootstocks does advance the growth. Oh, I just noticed something. Look there, flowers already. So I didn't notice that. I'm just noticing this thing is flowering already. So I don't know what the plan is for this tree. Some of these trees in my pot, so I'm waiting to get another property, but the property values are so high right now in California. So I have to wait. Anyway, I'm moving on. So this is the hoss tree that was dying a few years ago that I got to recover, and now that leader's finally taken off. But this thing's been in the ground a long time, maybe 4 or 5 years, but like I said, it was underwatered and I almost lost it, but it's flowering. And I got a couple avocados from last year on it. There's one. I think there's like 3 more. I tried 2 already and they were pretty good, but you know, hoss isn't in peak season right now. And this is a Forte. It's been in the ground about 4 years, and it flowered just like this profusely last year, but I only got 1 fruit. So hoping that this is the year that it takes off. But like I said, I finally got to try 1 fruit from it last year, and it was great. So if you like these type of videos, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I'll keep trying to bring some more content. Have a nice day.